We are now about a week out from the launch of Halo Reach on PC, and I've had some time to play a good bit of the game, so I figured I would throw together a quick video with my thoughts on it so far. Before we get too deep into some of the issues that I've had with the game, I just want to highlight how awesome it has been, grinding a proper Halo title on PC. Sure, some of the different Halo games you could play on the PC were very competent, but it just feels great to be able to play a dev-supported Halo again, even if it's an older title. So while this video is going to highlight things I do not like about the game, or things I want improved, I would still wholeheartedly recommend the game to anyone in a heartbeat. I'm having a blast playing it, and it has given me that desire to grind that no recent game has given me. With that said, like I mentioned, Halo Reach is not perfect by any means. Not only does it have most of the issues that it had 9 years ago, the PC port also has its own issues. So let's get into those issues. The first one being not able to crouch while moving. This is something I believe 343 has said that they are working on, but basically, when you are holding the W or the A and D key, if you're moving in a direction, you're unable to crouch. This is how it worked in Halo Reach on Xbox 360, but that feels totally different with the controller, and on mouse and keyboard this just feels very weird and I don't like it. So I'm hoping this is something that they're able to resolve and not something that's just coded so deep into the engine that we're stuck with it. So the next issue is going to be the ongoing issue of controller versus mouse. If you've paid attention at all, you would have heard everyone on Twitter and whatever other platform you follow debating whether or not controller or mouse and keyboard is the way to go. In 95% of shooters on PC, usually mouse and keyboard is the way to go, without question, because it gives you a level of precise aim that a controller can never give due to being limited to those thumbsticks. However, in Halo Reach, the aim assist is just so strong that it really brings the controller up to par, if not better than the mouse and keyboard, and this is an issue that a lot of PC players have had with the game. Personally, I think it's like a little bit overblown, and you should just play with whatever input device you prefer. But you have to keep in mind that for PC gamers, having these controller players come in and be able to wax the floor with them is just not something that they might take too easily. Now granted, you have to keep in mind that these Halo players have been playing Halo on controller for over 10-15 years now, and so they're playing against these people on mouse and keyboard who probably haven't been playing Halo games for as long, or obviously if not, they've played them in the past on a controller. With that said though, the controller aim assist is a little overtuned, however I don't really think it's something they should mess with. The big thing to consider here is that if we want crossplay, the aim assist needs to stay the same on the PC version of the game as the Xbox version of the game, so that we can have that crossplay, and that's something we really do want because it'll beef up the player bases of not only the Xbox version of the game, but also the PC version of the game that we're playing. It combines those player bases and it makes it easier to find matches, along with being able to play with your friends that might not necessarily have a PC. So the next issue that I've kind of had with the game is the map rotation is kind of borked. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that most of the games I play on are DLC maps, and I almost wonder if 343 did this on purpose, as a lot of returning Halo Reach players may not have played on those DLC maps, and I'd fall into that boat. I had quit Halo Reach before the DLC came out, so a lot of these DLC maps I'd never played before until now, so it's kind of cool to get in and kind of have fresh content. But on the other hand, there's some base vanilla Halo Reach maps that I really like, and not seeing them very often is kind of a bummer. One thing they could easily do to kind of remedy this is, well, one, change the formula that picks maps, but two, if they just implemented like the map veto system we had back in Halo 3, we'd be able to veto out shitty map and game type combinations that we don't want to play. I don't want them to go with a map vote process though, because then you end up playing like the same map and game mode over and over, whatever the most popular ones are. So the next issue that I've seen a lot of people complaining about is the progression system. If you haven't played MCC, well, I don't know why you'd be watching this video, but it basically works like every modern day battle pass, where you play games and you level up your battle pass, and every level you unlock an item. However, there's no paid versus free model, it's just all the same. And personally, this doesn't really bother me. I know some people don't like it because they kind of took out the freedom that the credit model gave you in the original Halo Reach, but to me, it's whatever. It's you play a bunch and you unlock some armors. The gameplay has always been the focus of Halo to me, and I always enjoyed that gameplay, and the customization has always been second to that. So for me, this isn't a big issue, but I do understand for some people that having this huge grind set up isn't what they like, and maybe it's something 343 could look into, but I really, really doubt they will. Alright, next let's talk about the playlist composer, or just the different playlists, whatever you want to call it. So I do like the options that this playlist composer gives you in social. You can queue up a lot of different things at once, which I think will do a great job of keeping those lesser played game types able to be played in the future, because you can queue them up with the more played game types, so you're not just sitting in queue forever. And occasionally you might queue into something like Action Sack, even though you also have Team Slayer and Snipers queued too. So that's something that I think it does well, and that's on the social side of it. What I don't like is on the ranked side, there's basically two playlists: Ranked Hardcore and Ranked Invasion. So Ranked Hardcore is obviously just 4v4. It's the MLG settings from back in the day, no bloom, no sprint, and I really like that. However, what I don't like is that we have two ranked playlists, and one of them is Invasion. Invasion is not really a competitive mode. It plays on the vanilla settings from Halo Reach, which are as far from competitive as possible, and not only that, Invasion itself just isn't a game mode that lends to being that competitive. But honestly, this is an issue that wouldn't even bother me if it wasn't our only other ranked playlist. What I'd like to see is hopefully 343 adds in other ranked playlists, or at least rotates them in some way. And there's super basic ones that we're missing, like team doubles or team snipers, or just whatever else they want to add into the ranked queue. Even if they add modes that aren't the hardcore settings into the ranked playlist, I don't think that would be the worst thing either, as it would give players who don't like no bloom, no sprint the ability to grind a ranked playlist where maybe it's just the TU settings. And like I said, this is something they could easily do in like limited time modes. They could rotate them in and out just like they did in Halo 5, and I believe like they'd been doing on the Master Chief Collection on the consoles. However, I can't speak to that, as I really never got back into the MCC on consoles after it was a broken piece of poop. So those are some of the kind of issues that I have with the PC specific version of Halo Reach, or just the Master Chief Collection version of Halo Reach. With that said, Halo Reach still has a lot of the issues that it had back in the day, like bloom, the armor abilities, and those aren't going away, and I don't really expect those to go away in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I would maybe like to see here is, like, I wouldn't mind a TU playlist as a ranked playlist. I'd also personally like to see a no bloom playlist as a social playlist. Personally, I think bloom's really bad, and I don't want to play with bloom, but I don't always want to play hardcore. Maybe I'm just not in the mood to sweat it out, or maybe I'm playing with friends that aren't necessarily of the same skill level, whether they're way better than me or way worse, so it would be nice to be able to just play social but not have to deal with bloom. And that's something, again, limited time modes, rotate playlists, super easy for 343 to implement, and I really hope this is something they do implement. So besides adding in playlists, what else can 343 do to kind of keep people playing Halo on PC? As we've already sort of seen a substantial drop off from the great numbers that we had the first few days, where we topped the Steam sales charts and we had like over 100k concurrence. Actually, I think at one point it might have been like 200. It's what, those are numbers, but you get the point. So we've seen a substantial drop off from there, but what I would say to that, first of all, is it's a little bit to be expected. We are playing a game that is 9 years old, that really doesn't have any new content. And honestly, I think it's kind of like the Master Chief Collection was originally on the Xbox One. It's a way to give fans a way to get back into Halo before Halo Infinite comes out. Obviously, the Master Chief Collection on PC is going to attract in a lot of prior Halo fans, or even new Halo fans that have either haven't played Halo in a while because they're on PC, or have never played Halo because they're PC players. And this gives them a chance to experience some of the old games in preparation for Halo Infinite, which will be 343's big title. I think there's this misconception where people think that the Master Chief Collection and like Halo Reach need to be this game that keeps players playing for months and months on end, like live service games are today, and I don't really think that's the case. Obviously, you're going to see they're going to start rolling out the other Halo games, and I think that's something they should focus on, but these games don't need to have like the super long legs. They don't need to have huge player bases years down the line, because I think the focus for 343 is going to be Halo Infinite, as it should be, because that's their new title. That's the title that's going to bring in all the money. It's the title that hopefully has the most players playing, and what we really don't actually want to see is a super split player base. We don't want Halo Infinite to come out and have half the Halo fans on PC jump onto Halo Infinite, while half are still playing Halo 2 or Halo 3. All that's going to do is going to be split the player base and the fan base in half, If you followed Counter-Strike at all, when they had Counter-Strike Source come out, a lot of players continued to play Counter-Strike 1.6. Or if you were more of a Call of Duty player, when Call of Duty World at War came out, a lot of players stayed on Call of Duty 4. And while these aren't huge issues if you have enough players, as of late, Halo hasn't necessarily had the huge player base to support multiple games. What I think 343's goal is and should be is to kind of use MCC as a way to bring players back, to get players excited for Halo Infinite, and then once the new game comes out, hopefully everyone hops over there. Obviously, like, the Master Chief Collection won't die completely and you'll still hopefully be able to find games, but I don't think it should be their focus. I don't think their focus should be to make new content for the Master Chief Collection, besides easy things like maybe cosmetics and playlists, and obviously, they need to get Forge and Theater added into the game. I should have said that earlier. That's something that is a priority. That is something that should have been on launch. So those are things that need to be added. But like besides that, I don't really expect new maps and new game modes from them other than like playlist setting tweaks and stuff like that. The true test as to whether or not Halo is back will be how Halo Infinite does. We can look at the numbers of Halo Reach on Steam charts and Halo 3 on Steam charts when that rolls out, and those are a good reference point. But what will be really important is how Halo Infinite does on Xbox and PC, because those are the games that are going to be new and fresh, whereas many of us older Halo fans have played these prior titles for countless hours back in the day, and while we're excited to play them right now, and I'm probably going to be playing a ton of Reach and the other titles, they really can only hold people over for so long if they've played them in the past and they're kind of tired of them anyways. So those are kind of just my initial thoughts. Long story short, I'm extremely happy to be grinding Halo again, but let's not sugarcoat it and say Reach is perfect by any means. I hope they're able to shore up some of the issues while adding little bits of content here and there, like maybe new playlists or new cosmetics, but if I'm honest with you, I'm just not expecting those massive changes. Although, in an ideal world, it would be cool to see new Halo 3 content, which kind of contradicts what I'm saying about how they should focus on Infinite, but I love Halo 3, so seeing like new dev-made Halo 3 maps would be like my dream come true, but I don't expect that at all, like I was saying. But anyways guys, there will be plenty more Halo videos for you guys to enjoy on the channel, and hopefully I don't end up out of town right as they launch the next ones. But I do want to thank everyone who's new to the channel, as some of my videos lately have been doing really well for me, and that's just a great feeling. Having you guys just watch my content and hopefully enjoy it means a lot to me. I have tons of ideas for Halo content, and that's not even counting other content in other games that I dip my toes into here and there, so there'll be tons of stuff coming up. So if you want to follow me in other places besides YouTube, I'll stick my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description, so feel free to follow me on those or connect with me there. I plan to stream a ton of Halo Reach going forward, and then eventually the other Master Chief Collection titles as they roll out, and I would love to have you guys in my streams. At some point I do want to hold custom game nights, so join my Discord in case I ever get off my ass and actually set those up, and I'll see you guys next time.